Welcome to another episode of Down the Barrel Podcast with Jimmy and Dino.
And sometimes Jared.
Down the Barrel Podcast is brought to you by the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association
and Wolf.Report. Wolf.Report, a platform dedicated to elevating the voices of Minnesota hunters, trappers, and outdoor enthusiasts. Join us in advocating for responsible wolf management in Minnesota. Share your reports, photos, and stories, and together we will ensure that they are seen by all.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, protecting the future of deer and deer hunting through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation. Today, we're talking with Eric Meyer, the show promoter from Minnesota Deer and Turkey Classic
In Shakopee, Minnesota.
Yeah, thanks for coming on with us, Eric.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah. So, Minnesota Deer and Turkey Classic, a show for the hunting crowd.
Yeah, when is it?
Yeah.
March 14th, 15th, and 16th.
All right.
That's coming up. 3 whole days.
Yeah.
About 3 weeks out.
Yeah, it's coming up really quick. I bet you have been busy.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I'm kind of a one-man show with this thing, so I sell all the booth space and buy all the advertising. And
we go every year to this.
We do. Yeah, MDHA has been a part of it for, well, Eric, you would know probably better than us, but quite some time.
In 2016 is when we started it up with Outdoor News. It was the Outdoor News Deer and Turkey Classic, and that went on through 2020 when the pandemic shut us down. And at that point, actually, my father was the publisher of Outdoor News and turned it over to me. And in 2022, I brought it back as the Minnesota Deer and Turkey Classic. And,
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show.
Yeah, it's been growing every year. So it goes up by a couple thousand people every year, which is great. It's just getting people used to coming down to Shakopee, the new location, and it's really a nice facility.
Yeah, speaking of location, so it's at Canterbury Park, which is a great venue.
That's a horse track, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they race horses, right?
Have you been there for the horse? You have.
I have not been there for the horse races. I've only been there for the show.
Yeah, I've been there for the horse races. Let me tell you, I was only there for the show for 2 or 3 years in a row, and then I finally went to the horse races, and it's like, wow, that's amazing what you do for the booth spaces in that amount of space there at the track.
Yeah, because what is there, like really 3 floors?
Well, the way it's set up for the show is they have the main building where you watch the races from, and we have 2 floors. We have trackside, and then we have the mezzanine level. But then when it's horse racing, they have this area that they, take the horses and, run them around this deal. And then when it's winter time and they aren't doing the races, they connect the expo hall to the main building. And it's kind of like I call it the tunnel, but it's just a passageway, and there's booths through that passageway.
Right.
There's about 220 booth spaces available with that footprint, and right now I'm about 170 booths, different exhibitors that I have at the show.
Yeah, that's where they put up those like canvas walls. That looks like quite the undertaking to build that tunnel.
Yeah, and to keep it heated. I mean, there's been some years where it has been extremely cold, and they keep it very well heated in there too. And that,
So do they set that up just for you, Eric, or do they use that for other things too? Do you know?
Well, yeah. Once the racing's over, they try to have events every weekend there.
Okay.
So, there's a huge craft fair there that they actually add another tent outside that's monstrous. And the first year I went there, I tried to check out the craft fair to see what it was all about there at Canterbury. And it was a Friday midday, and I pulled in there. I couldn't find a parking spot.
Wow.
These little ladies streaming in there, and I thought, boy, if I could fill this like this show. So I'm getting there, but they have I heard it was like 2,000 parking spaces there, but I think there's more than that because there's an extra parking lot across the street. So it's all free parking. And it's very easy to get to Canterbury right off 169, all interstate driving. So
Yeah.
you got a big lineup of hotels,
Yeah.
restaurants now right there. So and everything's price reasonable. You can go to the website and check under. Well, it's actually under vendor resources. We have all the different hotels and deals they got going. But it's a great weekend getaway. Come down for a couple days and hang out. You got other things to do in the area, like you could run to Mall America, or there's the big shopping center there. So
Yeah, I think it's a great venue for a sports show. You get to walk around, talk to all the vendors, all the partners, and then go take a break at the blackjack table for a little bit.
See, that's something I've never done, but this year I might,
because the casino's still open.
It's still open.
Doing the whole show.
It's right there. It's off that.
Full tabs too now.
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I think you called that floor the trackside floor. You get up there and there's this glass door. Walk right up to the blackjack
it's
table.
great. Come down, check out the vendors, go up there and have a little fun.
Yep.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
And and there's a lot of activities at the show, like the Wild Trail Kid Zone, which is sponsored by
MDHA.
Yeah. So that's always a neat area. I always love walking through there, and there's signs all over to kind of point the direction and tell you. And what's all in that Wild Trail Kid Zone, Eric? I know there's some bow hunt or bow shooting.
Well, we got A1 Archery. They have trained instructors. We actually construct a little archery range, and it's for kids to try out shooting a bow. And so we have these trained instructors there, and it's great because it's just loaded with kids. And then as you move around the room, Fishing for Life has a trout pond.
Yes.
They also have Safe Archery Shoot, which is the floating Nerf balls on the air.
Yeah.
And then right next door to that Trail Life, it's a Christian-based organization for kids. They handle the rubber band shoot.
Okay.
And then I have live Hawks and Falcons. The Minnesota Falconers come in.
Oh, yeah. Yep,
Yeah, I do remember that. Those guys are always fun to look at and fun to see out. Although I think the Falcons want to attack me most of the time, but that's okay. It's still pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's not just the Falcons team.
It's a great area for the kids to come enjoy.
Oh, it is.
So it's a family event. You can come down. You can get food. You can see all the vendors. See some great new items that you can buy. Equipment. I think this year you have Flow. I think.
Yeah.
I think they're in that little tunnel area. I forget what we call that, but
Flo's got the trailers there. One other point on the kids upstairs. We didn't put it in that room, but NWTF they sponsor the. It's a BB gun shoot in one of those bounce house deals, the blow up inflatables, and then the first 30 kids each day to their booth get a Jake's box call. So they're giving out 90 box calls over the course of the show. But
that starts on Friday.
Yeah, 1 to 8 on Friday, 9 to 7 on Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday.
Nice.
And then on top of that, you've got seminars going on that people are putting on throughout the whole event.
We got a great lineup this year.
Yeah.
Melissa Bachman, she's been with us every year since I've been doing this deal. And Wildlife sponsors her, and she's just great. She's from Paynesville and has a real successful show, Winchester Deadly Passion on the Sportsman's Channel. And she comes in and meets and greets, gives a couple seminars a day. And then I got some new guys this year. I got Daniel Schmidt from Deer and Deer Hunting, the magazine. Also, he's got the TV show. He's the editor-in-chief. Very knowledgeable guy on deer, just everything deer. He covers it. And then I added a new guy this year from South Carolina, Daryl Madden. He's a turkey call maker, and he's going to come in and basically do the basics of calling turkeys. He's taken 59 grand slams. That means the four species of turkeys. He's taken that 59 times, and he's going for 60 and 61 this year.
Jeez.
So he's a Cabela's Bass Pro Shop pro staffer, and really interesting to listen to. He's got, we don't get too many Southerners up here, and he's got a real Southern draw, so he's kind of interesting to listen to. And then I got one big one is Barbara Keller. She's the big game program leader for the DNR, and she covers whitetail, moose, and elk, and she'll be talking about the state of those species. And I got Brian Brosdahl from up by
he's up here. He's from up here.
Yeah, so I've been a northern guy that's going to talk about hunting and fishing, and he's got quite a following. We got the Whitetail Property guys. They sponsor the big stage, and they come in and talk about buying and selling hunting land. I got Jared Mills. He used to be with Midwest Whitetails, but he's coming in to talk about food plots and hunting food plots and when's a good time to do it and all that. So if you want to learn stuff about food plots and hunting them, I got new this year is the Minnesota Tracking Dogs. Their organization is going to come in and talk about tracking and recovering big game. And
it's a hot topic right now.
It is.
And then the state record holder of the largest black bear in Minnesota, Jesse Koskamini, he's going to come in and talk about how to hunt big bear, how to find them, and all that good stuff. So, and then we got a special appearance on Saturday. The Whitetail Freaks, Don and Candy Kiske.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them.
They're coming in for the day to meet and greet with the crowd. So that's kind of our celebrity lineup in all our seminars. So go to the website and it's all there.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the Kiskes, they're going to be at the Wildlife Research booth too, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun booth this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We always talk to the Wildlife Research guys. They are partners of MDHA as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we always talk to them and usually say hi to Melissa and get pictures and whatnot.
Right.
So yeah, we'll definitely have to talk to Don and Candy as well. So that'd be
for sure.
That'd be pretty
fun.
cool because we're pretty close to that booth.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Actually, it's funny. Wildlife Research, Whitetails Properties, and then we're on the backside.
Right.
And then we're right beside one of your largest sponsors, Chevy.
Yeah.
Sponsor.
The largest sponsor, yes.
They are my presenting sponsor. Also, they're one of my big. I sell advertising for Outdoor News, and I've had them for about 10 years. They're one of my largest accounts for the paper. They buy a full page ad every week, and they got a good plug in there for you guys in that ad. So
They sure do.
And it all works hand in hand. And they got a big spread. They're going to bring a bunch of trucks down, and they got some outside and some inside, and they're all about the sportsmen. So we're really glad that they give us the support they do.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're right beside us. We always get to enjoy those beautiful trucks. Really.
Well, yeah, like you said, they're huge sponsors of sportsmen and outdoorsmen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're so appreciative of our partnership with them as well. We get to give away a Chevy Silverado every year.
Yeah,
right.
which we are selling tickets for.
Yeah, we are.
We are. We'll have those there.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm on my fifth Chevy pickup too. That's all I've ever driven, and that was well before I ever got the accounts. So
right.
I made that apparent when they were about to sign.
I bet.
Yeah.
I don't really leave home without having some Chevy logo on me.
Right. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Chevy hat on your head right now. I think that was the hat they were giving away last year at the Deer
Was
Trail
it?
Classic.
Mm-hmm. No.
Another thing that's really big there is antler scoring.
Oh yeah, the main feature is the Minnesota whitetail buck. I mean, it's all about this whole show. Kind of revolves around what's happening in Minnesota. Just kind of like Outdoor News, it was all Minnesota. A lot of the bucks that we publish in Outdoor News. I'm also the photo manager for Outdoor News, so I reach out to these guys with the big bucks and make sure they show up with them. So last year we had 260 plus antlers brought in for measuring.
Wow.
And out of those bucks, most of them stay for the weekend. They have this big promotion. If you bring your buck in Friday or Saturday and leave it till Sunday at 1, we have a big drawing, about 50 prizes. There's a gearhead bow as a grand prize, and it gives them incentive to leaving it on display so people can see it. Back in the early days, guys would bring them in, have them score, and then leave right away. So you really wouldn't get to not many people would get to view it. And I have a leaderboard there, and this year I'm putting an actual tag on all the leaders in that division throughout the show. I'm going to be updating that, and yeah, we get some monsters. And boy, and this year there was some giants shot. There's multiples bucks over 200 inches that should be showing up. I got one big bull elk. The guy just sent me the image of. He's bringing it. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's 68-foot wall.
Yeah.
Two-sided. And then I have the legends wall of all the state records or, notable bucks that have been shot in the past. I think I have about 20 of them on that wall. And so it's quite the sight to see.
It really is. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, you have to go and see it, because that's usually like Saturday afternoon. We'll kind of take a walk because that's when the majority of them are, and it's pretty neat. And then even just to walk by the Minnesota Official Measures booth while everybody's while they're getting measured it's just amazing how many guys they have there. And
I was talking to them this past weekend at our banquet.
Yep.
And they told me they do 200 a day down there.
Yeah, well, they did a total of 260 actually.
Really?
Okay.
So you lied to me.
The year after the pandemic, we had
it was Dean.
3. You might have to edit that out.
Oh no! We're gonna leave that in.
So they got 25 dedicated measures. These guys are something else, and they bring in a lot too, because they're the connection as well. And I have a really good relationship with them, and this year it's going to be something, because the bucks we've been publishing in Outdoor News, there are some giants.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to see. We'll definitely be up there checking it out.
Yeah, we also have I have the World Slam of turkeys there too. The 6 subspecies of turkeys shot in the world on display, and that's pretty neat to see. And I got a little pamphlet that tells all about each turkey and where they're from and what they look like. So you can grab one of them pamphlets here. There, it's right by the NWTF booth.
Yeah, I think last year I grabbed that pamphlet just because there was a turkey there that was just so colorful. I don't ever remember seeing that before. So I was like, what is this one? So I did grab the pamphlet. I'm sure it's in my computer bag somewhere, but it's pretty neat. Yes. Yep.
I shot all those turkeys, by the way. I got the World Slam. Yep. I did it for the show. I had to go shoot all of them. So
that'd be rough.
That must have been tough. Sometimes work sucks. Right?
It's a little scary. Some of the Goulds, I had to go south of Arizona into Mexico, where all the bad people are.
Yeah.
So the oscillator, though, the one with the blue head, the one you're talking about, that one was in Campeche, kind of down by Cancun.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
Jungle, and that was a neat hunt. But getting them back, it's you got to go through a lot of hoops, and you cross your fingers that everything. You got to have every little bug off the thing. You got to soak it. It's something else. But those things are cool to hunt. The noise, it's a totally different type of call, and you see all kinds of weird animals too, barramundes and the pumas. You got to watch out for them. They'll step behind you.
So go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, did you take them shotgun archery?
I did it with shotgun. I used their shotgun, so I wouldn't have to travel with one. That's the easiest way to do it. And I actually I hunted brocket deer too. They're like a little mini deer with a good one's like a 4 or 5 inch, like a spike buck.
Like what Dean shoots every year.
Yeah.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun hunt. But yeah, we got it done, and I actually have about 14 life-size turkeys, and I got to give a shout out to my buddy Jeff McHugh from down in southeast Minnesota. He did all the taxidermy on them, and he's the best there is, really. He's won all the awards.
Nice.
They're really cool birds to see. I have them all different positions. So, yeah, I added the turkey thing in because it's such a big deal these days. You know, it's really the best way to get a kid involved in hunting for the, with sitting in a ground blind. It's not cold, and you get to mentor them really good, and then the turkeys are talking to them, so it's pretty exciting, and it's a great experience. So that's why I brought the turkey part into the show.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did, because that's one of my favorite hunts is the spring turkey hunt with my recurve. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I've got to try it this year.
Oh, those early morning gobbles, they just get you going. Love it.
Right. Well, we're just finally starting to get them up here in northern Minnesota.
Right, exactly.
So,
I mean, we had them in southern Kansas all the time, but honestly, we never really hunted them. Well, we had hunters that come in, but now I want to hunt them.
Right, me too.
Yeah, you learn a lot at the show. I have a number of booths with turkey collars in it or selling turkey products, and it's that's the one thing with the exhibitor lineup I have. I've really focused on keeping the hunting industry first and foremost. I might have a few fishing resorts and that sort of thing mixed in, but it doesn't look like a flea market like some shows.
Right.
Chiropractors and garage doors and
exactly.
I will give you kudos on that.
I appreciate that
because obviously we've been at other shows and whatnot, and you stick to the Deer and Turkey Classic in all outdoors and hunting and fishing, because that's the way it is. Because there's, I want to go there for hunting. I want to go there for outdoors.
Yeah. Right. I want to not be sandwiched between, a concrete coating company and a candy shop,
Exactly.
Yep.
I want, outdoors people around me. I mean, yes. I do. That's probably my favorite thing about your show, Eric, is that it's the vast majority. I mean, you walk around, it's okay, deer hunting, turkey hunting.
Yeah, you stay true to the mission.
Right.
Exactly.
And and the good thing is the people that are going to come and talk to you, or the people that are going to look at your booth, they're there for the same reasons.
Exactly.
They are hunters, fishermen, outdoors men and women that all have the same interests. So you get more involvement.
Absolutely.
And at the MDHA booth, we definitely get a lot of involvement, and it's a great conversation with people, and it's just fun just shooting the shit with people that come in, hunting stories, even fishing stories. I mean, everything. It's pretty cool. We really enjoy the show for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So we appreciate that part, that you keep it to that core group of organizations.
Yeah, I'm with working building the Outdoor News for 36 years, and I was the photo manager, so it's always that emotional part of what I did with like the photos. You publish one photo of a kid with their first deer, that affects 20, 30 people that know them, and that it's an emotional event. So, and that's what hunting and the tradition of hunting means to me. And that it's not just, this isn't just something for me to do to make some money on or whatever. This is to keep the tradition of deer hunting and turkey hunting and hunting in general alive in our state.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of Outdoor News, you said you worked there and everything. So you want to elaborate on that just a little bit more, how your involvement and everything?
Well, my dad, Glenn Meyer, in 1988 bought Outdoor News from Jim Peterson, who had it for 20 years. And prior to doing Outdoor News, Jim was a sports editor for what's now the Star and Tribune. And he had a following. And actually, these East Coasters bought the Star and Tribune, and then they didn't want him to do grip and grins in the paper anymore. So he said, I'm out of here. He started Outdoor News, and he did it for 20 years. And he was up to 14,000 subscribers. He's getting old, ready to retire. And then my dad purchased it from him. And over the course of from 88, we sold it in 2020. we went from the 14,000 paid to 250,000 paid subscribers, and we expanded from Minnesota to Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, and Illinois. Those papers all being bi-weeklies every other week, where Minnesota still is a weekly. So, when Dad decided after while the pandemic was going on, he's in his 80s, and I decided that I would sell my stock as well. But I maintained the Deer Classic, and I continued to work for the paper. I have a sister, Sarah, and a stepsister, Jenny, that still work there as well, and still feels like a family business.
Yeah. No, and I know you're a subscriber.
Absolutely.
I'm a subscriber.
As am I.
Yeah. And I know a lot of our members and a lot of people
I know anybody that isn't.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, it's a great publication.
It really is. And I don't know how you guys do it weekly.
Weekly has got to be tough.
God.
I mean,
we do our magazine quarterly, and that is more work than it should be.
Right. I give you guys kudos and your writers and editors, and you for your ads and photography end of it. And it's like, man, I don't know how you guys do it. It's amazing.
Well, we have a lot of passionate people that are involved and contribute to the paper. A lot of these writers, they do it just because they enjoy doing it. Because if we had to pay what it's probably worth for them to write, we couldn't afford to publish it. So. And the reader really gets involved with the photos and writing letters to the editor. So at the shows, I'd talk to people, and they had ownership in the paper as well. They'd always say, it's my paper, and boy, if it doesn't show up on time, we hear about it.
I can imagine.
Yeah, well, you've got a great team there,
for sure.
I mean, Rob Drieslein, he does a great job, and we had Ryan Rothstein on. He's one of the contributors, and
I talked to Tori McCormick the other day. Yeah, he's a good guy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brian Mosey, he's no longer with you, but he was great, and Natalie Ryder now.
Yeah,
they're a class act.
And for sure. The legend Gary Clancy.
Oh yeah,
he was the most beloved writer we had, and I was fortunate to spend time in our booth at Game Fair, and just watching people come up to him. They wanted to hug him, and it was something. He was a great storyteller.
Well, there's something to be said about telling stories,
for sure. So, Eric, obviously you're a hunter, fisherman. Do you kind of hit all avenues? Do you bow hunt, rifle, a little bit of everything?
Yeah, I pretty much cover it. Also, growing up in Osseo, Minnesota, I had an uncle that was a taxidermist and had a shop just down the road from where I live. So I ride my bike down there, and I was his apprentice. So I had that going on. Everybody in my family were hunters, and actually, all my family's from central Minnesota, and my parents came from farming families, so I had a lot of access to good land to hunt and fish, and a lot of my closest cousins were really hardcore hunters. So, and my dad, he traveled a lot, but yeah, I've hunted, wherever I can, and trying. I think I got 18 North American big game animals so far, and
wow.
Being I'm a taxidermist, I got like 300 mounts in my collection.
Jeez.
So, do you still do a little bit of taxidermy on the side, or
just the big game? My big game, but I someday I might get back into it. But the fish and all that's, the painting and having all the right paints. I do a lot of replicas now on those. So, and I'm not the greatest with birds. It takes time, and I'm too busy with the show. So, but yeah, I got one good buck in Millville back in 2005. The year I shot it was the number 2 in the record book with a muzzleloader, iron sights, no scope. Is in Millville. It grossed 180 and 3/8 and netted 1 and 2/8 typical. And it ranks 7th with the muzzleloader now, and And then Boone and Crockett has a whitetail book, and he's about in the top 350, something like that. But that, there's thousands of them in there. So
right, wow, it's still a beast, though.
Yeah.
It was. I was so lucky to get. We didn't have cameras out or anything. I was on good property, but I hadn't seen anything that big before there, and just got lucky and went up there. And it was before an ice storm. The next day in the cities, you could skate on the roads. It was in 2005, so this buck was on the move and came down this ridge, and I got him with the iron sights, and
That's pretty cool.
He had 27-inch main beams and 5.5 inches of mass, but he's like the perfect 12-pointer. He's got very little deduction, no deductions on the G2, like an eighth on the G3 and an eighth on the G4. So, yeah, he's on display. I got him on display with a buck my grandpa shot and a buck my dad shot, and a little story about our history of hunting, because it goes way back 100 years if you include all the years my grandpa hunted up by Park Rapids. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. So do you have like an extra house or a garage just full of your mounts?
Oh yeah,
you just spread throughout everywhere.
I live down in Elba now in the Whitewater Valley.
Yeah,
I got a modular unit that's like a mini deer classic.
Nice.
We
may have to make a road trip.
Right, you got to see this thing.
Yeah, I got one. My man cave's got. While I pull all the fish there, I got a little place on Mille Lacs now, so I brought all the fish up to the fish shack. But I had 179 mounts in that one building. All started too with duck hunting, in central Minnesota on my uncle's ponds on the farms and stuff. And then my dad was a member of a duck club right in Bloomington, Long Meadows Duck Club. It was around since the 1800s. And I got to go down there with him for a number of years on the Minnesota backwaters. You fly over it when you fly in and out of Bloomington there, kind of right by the control data building and Embassy Suites. You go right down in there. And boy, I shot some variety of ducks there, real mounters. I think I got 48 ducks mounted.
Dude, wow.
I know. Wow, I got issues in the mount department.
Sounds like you need more wall space.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you didn't move all the fish up to Mille Lacs. I see a few behind you there.
I am at Mille Lacs.
I was going to say, he's at Mille Lacs.
Oh, you are in Mille Lacs.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Yeah, and by the way, the perch bite is on fire here.
Really?
Perch tournaments Saturday, it was a Hunter's Point. Nitty's Hunter's Point had their big perch extravaganza. And there must have been I don't know how many people. There was like 1,000. I don't know. And the big one was 2.06 pounds, 15-incher. And then yesterday, the day after the tournament, I got a 14-incher, 1 pound 7 ouncer. I got it in the freezer. I'm mounting it.
That's a nice perch.
Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are.
I got 4 of them actually. I'm going to put in on a piece of driftwood because they're 13 3/4 inches to 14. They're just giants. It was something. Yeah, it's just loaded with perch this year. You can go out there and you can get a trophy.
Yeah, I mean, right now you got the perfect weather to be out there.
Right.
Although it's probably a little wet, but still.
I pulled my ice castle today because it was.
Yeah.
It's not so much the lake as the axis is, but yeah. Let's see. I'll pull up this. Here's that perch.
Oh wow!
Oh, that is a beast.
That is awesome. Man. You've got to send us that picture.
Look at him wearing a T-shirt.
Right? I know.
That's just. It doesn't get any better.
No, it doesn't.
I haven't been ice fishing yet where I could wear a T-shirt this year.
Yeah,
I think every time we go, it's 30 below.
And it's 14 inches. I can't
remember some biggins.
Wow.
I thought it was a big tulipy when it was coming up because we got some really big tulipy out there too. And I looked down the hole and it's this yellow thing. I'm like, oh my God. I got it in and I was jumping around like a little kid in the fish house. And I ran outside and I was
well, yeah, that thing's gorgeous in those bright colors.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to have to send us that picture. We could use it in the graphic for this.
Oh, for sure.
This episode.
I want to share it. Yeah.
I'll send the buck photo.
There you go.
All right. Not fish stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I think we kind of covered everything.
As long as we remind people, it's March 14th, 15th, and 16th. Shakopee at Canterbury Park. Come on down. Visit us for sure. We'll be there.
All three of us will
be there. Yeah. Eric will be wandering around. I know he always is.
Yeah.
Free parking.
Free parking. All kinds of special nights. There's a ladies' night, I know for sure.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on.
Friday, ladies' night goes from 3 to 8. All the gals get in for free. The first 50 through the door at 3. We have a package from Wildlife Research Center that we're giving out. They get some gifts. And then it's senior night Friday. You get a discount. I believe it's $10 for admission for seniors. And then regular admission's $12, but you can go on the website and sign up for our newsletter and get a $2 off coupon. And kids 9 and under or 10 and under are free, and then 10 to age 15, it's $5.
Right.
And then it's 1 to 8 on Friday, 9 to 7 on Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. And go to the website, mndeerclassic.com. Check it out. We got videos on the past shows. We got breakdown on all the different things, seminars, and we got a trail cam contest going on. Mm-hmm. We got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and you can get food and snacks and drinks there. It's all available. You can spend a lot of time there and walk around, check everything out.
Yeah, the website's great. Mm-hmm. It's got everything for you. We'll be sure to throw a link on this as well to make it really easy for everybody.
Yeah.
If anybody has questions, just shoot me an email, Eric, ERIC, at outdoornews.com.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, we always look forward to it. All three of us will be down there.
Yeah, between Chevy and Wildlife Research.
And the cool thing is, in our booth this year, what are we going to have, Jim?
We're probably going to have the hunting and hauling
sweepstakes.
Polaris that we're giving away.
We are. Right. So that'll be pretty cool. And there'll be membership promotions, obviously, for MDHA, and
maybe
Chevy tickets.
Come up with something for ladies' night or
ladies.
Night,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got to. We should come up with something.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Make it worth your time.
Yeah. And then on the 15th, I'm actually going to jet over to New Prague for the Minnesota River Valley chapter. Their banquet.
Okay, their banquet's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
It's going to be a busy weekend.
It will be. It'll be busy. But yeah, be sure to check it out. And, Minnesota Deer and Turkey Classic. And be sure to stop by and say hi. And you know what? What do you got to do for that weekend? You might as well stop by Minnesota Deer and Turkey Classic.
If you're a deer hunter, a turkey hunter, sportsman, whatever, this is where you need to be if you're in the area.
Canterbury Park and Shakopee.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Come on down. Say hi to Jared.
Be there. Thanks.
And Eric.
Yes.
Thank you,
Eric.
We appreciate your time, buddy. I hope you get out and catch some more perch.
I can't. I got to keep working here. I actually got three booth spaces I got to sell yet, and then I got to print off. I got to go to FedEx and print all these 100 and some trail cam shots.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I look at them every year though.
Oh God, there's so many things that when it gets close like this, it's just like
scramble. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll pull it off because you do every year, and it's a great show.
It is.
17 billboards out there right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm on all the. Well, I got Melissa going on Twin City Live Thursday, the day before the show.
Oh, cool.
Connection with Walter at
nice.
Broadcasting, yeah.
Well, that doesn't hurt.
Well, and like I told you, we may have an interview there with Channel 5 on the slug deal. In southern Minnesota, so that should be good.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
That'll be cool. Well, we appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on. Sorry for kind of the little bit of delay earlier, but we got it.
We got it figured out.
I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
All right,
too,
thanks,
buddy.
Too.
We'll see you down at the show.
See you soon.
We'll see you.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association has been building our hunting and conservation legacy over the past 40 plus years through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation in Minnesota for Minnesota.
Minnesota bow hunters, building community, celebrating tradition, and driving change.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association and Wolf Dot Report proudly sponsor this podcast. However, please note that the opinions, topics, and guests featured may not necessarily align with the views, beliefs, goals, or mission of our sponsors.